And welcome back to the WCHE Morning Show. I'm Eric Lambera. Co-host today is Cephus, and joining us in studio to discuss the upcoming 14th annual Kennett Winterfest, which will take place on February 28th. We have Doug Gabbard. Doug, thank you for joining us this morning. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Looking forward to it here. So the Winterfest, as I mentioned, will be coming up on February 28th. And for listeners who may not know, what is Kennett Winterfest? What can you tell them?
So Kennett Winterfest is sort of a bright spot in the year at the end of the year for Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. And it is hosted by the Kennett Collaborative organization, which has been around, a name change or two, but has been around for about 40 years. In fact, this is their 40th anniversary they're celebrating just this year for the Kennett Collaborative organization.
So, what is the Kennett Collaborative organization?
Kennett Collaborative is an organization of local folks that put on, it's a committee that puts on local events. So, for example, we have in the community weekly farmers markets. Those are all hosted by Kennett Collaborative. There's also an event called Third Thursdays they have through the summertime where they shut down the central street of Kennett Square. They open the restaurants up. They put tables out, tables and chairs in the streets. People can mix and mingle. There's live music.
Sounds fun.
Those kinds of events, right? There's parades and other kinds of holiday events that are hosted by the Kennett Collaborative, public art and downtown beautification projects as well. And then there's also other free community events throughout the year. And all of this stuff is paid for by the money generated through events like the Brewfest.
Okay. So is this mostly volunteers and just people in the community that get together? For
the committees, yeah. So it's like the Brewfest committee that I'm on. Yeah. This is just a volunteer thing. And there are a number of us from the community that volunteer to participate and put on and host these events with all the different logistics. And it takes months of planning. It's a lot of work, but it's all done volunteer.
And how did this whole collective thing start? Curious.
This was going back, like I said, 40 years ago. Yeah. So, but it is a group of people who wanted to see the community do more and create that fellowship and friendship and getting out and mixing with your community, but then also building the equity for the community in a broader footprint. So that it becomes a charming area for people to come and spend time and enjoy the shopping and the community, the restaurants, and that.
Wouldn't that be like typically what am I thinking? Like the Chamber of Commerce would do, kind of thing?
They potentially, but I think in these small communities.
But the difference is, as a business owner versus maybe a private citizen.
Right. These are all private events that are held just to build community. I think it also helps bring people in, sells the beauty of the community, has people move into the community, but it also helps the businesses thrive by bringing people into the downtown areas and enjoying the restaurants and the shopping.
Sure. I mean, that's where like I keep going like, oh, all right, hey, there's three of us here, right? Here in the studio, besides the studio audience. They're not clapping.
Maybe
studio audience.
Maybe they
should be like, oh yeah, ooh. That's just a joke anyway. So I just like to see. I like to traipse down the evolution of like how these things come apart or come about. Like the birth of our nation was a bunch of guys in a bar talking about the king sucks. You know what I mean? So I'm curious like to how this story kind of unfolds. 40 years ago, people are like, Kennett's cool, but nobody knows about it. And you're like, what should we do? I don't know. Let's form a group. All right, cool. And then next thing you know, you're, now we have volunteers and there's multiple events and,
Yeah. So I think you summarized it well in that when you have a community and it reaches a certain point where folks want to bring others in, create additional attention, traffic for the community, you start hosting events. So folks come together. And these small towns, especially when they were getting started, don't have lots of resources to do this kind of stuff. So you have volunteers that come together and they put these events on. And those are funded also by other people in the community. So fundraisers and that sort of thing help drive the revenues that it takes to do this kind of stuff. But over time, so that organization grew, but then the Brewfest itself started out as just an individual in the town who, by the name of Jeff Norman, who wanted to create a beer event to help, well, first off, who doesn't like going to a beer fest, but then also thought that would be good for the community and help us drive additional attention because that's usually beer fests are very popular and it helps draw a lot of attention. So
that we're in the age of, I don't know if we're at its pinnacle, but I'm not a big fancy beer guy or craft beer, and there are people. I mean, it's like I don't know. It's reached this thing where it is a thing, right? It's like thing. Beer. Oh, it's the brewery, and people go. Like I know people that travel around, and when they travel, they make it a part. Like if I'm going to Paris, what am I going to see? Oh, I want to see the Eiffel Tower. I want to see the Louvre. I want to traipse along the Champs-Élysées and all that, that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
And then there are this group of people who are like, oh, what breweries are we going to see?
Yes.
And, I want to taste beer. To me, I get it. There are a variety of different flavors and all that kind of stuff. And it's like a clique. It's a club. It's a hobby, I know a guy who brews beer. So all that kind of stuff. So I think it's interesting. And yes, these things have popped up and they've become a big thing of commerce. People making beer in their garage, and then they go, I want to sell my beer, and then people taste it and they go, this is great beer. You should sell this beer, and then it's like, all right. And there's conventions and fancy gizmos and all kinds of cool stuff to it. So I mean, right. Let's get together
absolutely.
and drink beer.
Absolutely. And I myself am also a home brewer. I've been brewing for about 18 years. But to your point, people do go around. So I've been to Munich Oktoberfest twice.
Oh.
Because you go there because of the beer, because of the community, because of the fun that you have. And the beer is what brings people together, but it's when people get together, you're drinking beer, but it's not about that. It's about the fun that you're having. And when you go home, you don't talk as much about all the good beers that you had, which you do, and that becomes the topic that you talk about. But really what you remember is all the fun that you had, the new friends that you made. Yeah. And there's people that you see each year. I've been going to this for about 20 years. There's people you see that you haven't seen since the last Brewfest. And then that's what brings people together. And it's like catching up with old friends. And it's the beer that brings us together.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Doug, about the Winterfest, so this is the 14th annual event here. You mentioned benefiting the Kennett Collaborative, over 60 breweries, plus local food trucks and live music. So a really big undertaking here. Just want to elaborate more on the undertaking and everything and what people can expect.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it is a big undertaking. It takes a few months to put these together. So it's going to be a high-energy afternoon. We do have over 60 regional breweries and live music. And there will be food. It gives off a really nice big community vibe. Everybody's very friendly. And especially here at the end of the winter when everybody's looking forward to starting to get back outside and have some fun. Yeah. And all the snow that we've had, now it's melting off. I think everybody's ready to start getting back together. So, but yeah, we do have, and if I can get into just a little bit more of the details, like I said, we have 60 breweries. So while we're celebrating the local and regional breweries in the area, we also like to celebrate some of the local regional musical talent that we have as well. So we do have a very exciting lineup that I think people are really going to love. This year we have Delco Donnie will be making an appearance. Hilarious, right? I don't know if you've seen some of his stuff. Even if you've been fortunate enough to catch him live at a Wawa, or if you've seen his stuff on TikTok or Instagram. Very funny. And he'll be making an appearance for a while. But we also have a band called Blank Pages, if you're familiar with them as well, from Newark, Delaware, are going to be opening up for the Tisberries as a headlining band. So we're very excited about them, too. Nice. And both very good bands. And the Tisberries out of Philly have actually been part of Steve Van Zant's Underground Garage. They were featured on there, which, how cool is that, right? For Steve Van Zant. Silvio himself, if you ever watched The Sopranos. But anyway, so we have, like I said, great music lineup. We're going to have a lot of 60-plus breweries, which you can go online and see the list of breweries that we're going to have. And guaranteed to be a great afternoon of fun and fellowship.
And I was looking before we came on at just the festival map. I know you guys released that, and just a lot going on over the course of the day. And it's going to be the 28th, so next Saturday.
That's right.
And so I know you guys have several packages to choose from in terms of attending event. Now, some are sold out already, but do you just want to elaborate on what you have as far as the packages? Yeah,
so there is an early event that we have every year. That one's sold out. So they call it the DEF CON event, which it's an early admission thing where it starts from 11:30 to 12:30, but that event is sold out now unless you can find somebody selling a ticket to that. So those sell out pretty quickly. However, the regular event starts at 12:30 and goes till 4. and that is at 600 Broad Street in Kennett Square. So guaranteed to be a good day. All you have to do is go online, buy a ticket, $60, and then you can come join us. There are also some non-alcoholic tickets available for $20, and if you use the code WCHE, you are able to get $5 off of that as well as a part of this promotion.
Well, thank you, Doug. That's awesome. Yeah. So all our listeners, you can go on to, where do I go on the website?
Yeah, you can go to KennettBrewFest.com, and Kennett is spelled Kennett, brewfest.com, and you can buy your tickets.
There you go. And use code WCHE and you get $5 off. That's awesome. Thanks for doing that for our listeners, Doug. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and there's a lot that you guys offer there. I'm seeing for like the regular admission, it's unlimited tastings, the tasting mug, and the entry, and even the non-alcoholic admission, unlimited mocktails, non-alcoholic samples, free soda or water, as well as the entry from 12:30 to 4. So you guys do offer a lot in that package there. And Steve, it sounded like you had a question.
Did I have a question? No, I did not have a question.
It sounded like you were jumping on there.
I don't know.
So as far as the event itself, I know it's going to be a really busy day in Kennett Square. Do you have any tips for potentially like parking, making a day out of it in the area? Anything you could let our listeners know about?
Yeah, there are. So when you get there, there will be a lot of parking. There's a Kennett High School across the street. A lot of folks park there, and there's some other parking lots around. There will be police in the street helping direct folks to those places. And then just follow the lines of people to the front gate, and you can get in. The good thing is, after you're done, you are within walking distance of a number of great places in town. There are craft brew places, beer gardens, other restaurants that you can visit as well. A number of them around. We have Braylock Brewing Company, which is about 2 blocks away. You go another block, you'll be at the Creamery, which is a nice open beer garden. All of them have great food and beer. You can walk up into the downtown area, and there's all kinds of great restaurants like Letty's, La Tavola, La Verona, Italian restaurants. You have Portobello's, you have Sweet Amelia's, you have all kinds of great options to walk around and continue the party even after the Brewfest is over with.
I think this is where we were talking off air, and I was getting a little confused, right? So, and I think it's because if I go to Kennett Winterfest, there is a website, Kennett Winterfest. Mm-hmm. But if I'm going to KennettBrewFest.com, that has Brewfest, Winterfest, and Summerfest on.
Yes.
All right. So they kind of they're hijacking everything, and that's where you can actually go and click on and get tickets. There is a festival map there. That's what I was kind of like looking and digging around for when I was on like the Kennett-Winterfest.com, whatever that is. And then, of course, you can find this on Facebook if we look at the Kennett Collaborative. If you just look up Kennett Collaborative on Facebook, there's a Facebook page. And, of course, KennettCollaborative.org talks a little bit more about that. But so it has a whole listing if you're into the breweries, all the participating breweries, and it is crazy. Now, Eric, are you a craft beer guy?
Not really, but like I have done like Levante and some of the ones on there.
You have drank beer in the past.
Yeah, yes, but I mean like some of I do recognize a lot of them on the list
yes,
here.
I have had a beer. All right, you're in.
As you mentioned, over 60 total there, so I do recognize a lot of them there.
There's so many on here. I'm like, I don't even know who.
Right.
Of course, Levante, La Cabra. I've known of them. I don't know if I've ever had anything from them. Because I'm not like a hoppy beer guy. I'm more of a Pilsner guy. Like I like Miller High Life. It is. Doug, it is the champagne of beers.
That's what I've been told.
It should be represented.
That's what I've been told.
I heard it's very big in Europe. In Japan.
Maybe Japan.
Like David Hasselhoff.
I just got back from Germany. I spent the weekend there. I came back 2 days ago, and I can say the time I was there, I did not see a single Miller High Life.
All right. Did you see any American beers represented?
In truth, no, I did not see.
There was a time where it was like, I don't know if it was just a kitschy thing that things like Budweiser was like a big deal in other countries.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was just because it was the pop culture of that time. And now beer is kind of like, well, no, you know how some things just catch on just because it's weird. And then it's like I don't know, certain pizza places like I joke around, like people will be like, "Oh, it's the best pizza." I'm like, "No, it doesn't. That pizza sucks." It's just because it's a nostalgic thing.
It is.
You know what I mean? So I think there's an association with things like that.
Sure.
Sly Fox, I know them. Have you ever had this? There's this new thing here. Hold on. Not pizza.
Yes.
Because it's not beer. It is a vodka drink.
Mm-hmm.
So
very popular right now.
We have been beat up over the head with all these seltzery drinks that are either a malt liquor or typically vodka.
So
the Trulies and the White Claws and the because I think it's easy. I think they're easy, right? Vodka takes on whatever flavor you mix it with, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then you add a little fizz, and it's like I joke about it. It is this generation's Zima.
Yeah.
All these
I can see that. I can see that.
You remember when Zima was a thing?
That's actually back to college. Yeah.
Right. You're like, because that's Zimas. Malt. I think that was malt liquor.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and it was clear, and it was like, and then it became
different.
like...
something different. It wasn't at the time, wasn't that the thing? Something different.
Something different. There you go. So Not Pizza is a vodka drink. Very popular right now. They're out of Pottstown.
Yeah, and they did a collaborative. So with one of our brewers, I believe it was a Braylock Brewing Company, which is a craft brewer, make their own beers as well.
Okay.
And they did a collaborative with them. So I think it is still going to be a brewed beverage.
Yeah.
But the last time we had them at an event, that was one of the longest lines, and I think they ran out. So that is, we were very fortunate to have Not Pizza there. So I think a lot of people are going to be pleased to see them there too. And you talk about just the evolution of things, and you reminded me that even talking about American beers versus the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be that beers, if you go back before the Depression, beers tasted very different. But then when you hit the Depression and everybody lost their money, you had a lot of people that were out of work and they were homeless and poor because of everything that happened with the economy, and it was terrible, and people couldn't afford to buy beer anymore. So brewers started coming up with ways of making beer in a much less expensive way and using rice and corn as opposed to all the grains. So they were able to make beers that were much more affordable for folks at the time. So that's where we came about with these American really light beers that still had alcohol content to them. And then they became very affordable for folks. And after a while, folks just developed a taste for that. So our beers stayed very light and crisp, and that's where you get a lot of like the Miller Light and the Coors Light, Bud Light.
They're easy to drink, as my friend says.
They're easy to drink,
He's like, you drink Coors Light? He goes, that's all I drink. Like,
that's right.
He goes, it's easy to drink.
Yeah. So over time, that's just became what people preferred, was those very light beers like that. And then, so the U.S., I think, got a bad rap for having weak beers, and it was probably because of that movement. But now, after a while, then folks started coming back around and wanting different beers. And Sam Adams back, when they started coming out with, when they first launched, they were coming out, they had one that was, it was hoppier, right? Yeah. And people hadn't really thought about something like that so much. So everybody started falling in love with these a little bit bolder, more malt, more hop. And then I think Sam Adams helped build us back up into more of a craft beer scene. So now when you go around the world, it used to be that people would snicker about American beers, but now they talk about how, American beers are great because of the malt and the hop profiles. But there are still a lot of folks that like those lighter, crisper beers that are not as heavy. It's easier drinking, especially sitting in your back porch on a hot afternoon.
Sure. I mean, I've had some different beers, some heavier beers, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. There's like, maybe you could educate us. Like, I don't know what's the difference between a stout and a milk stout, and then there's sours. Yeah. Which is like, I don't know. It gets real wacky. I never know that when they bring out. Anytime I go to like a local restaurant now, they're like, oh, used to be the wine list. Now it's like the beer list. Yeah. Like, oh, they have a great beer list. Like, that's where people go because they have a great beer list. And I'm like, man, like, I don't even know what all this crap is.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
It's delicious.
Fair enough.
You know what? There are a lot of different varieties of beer, and even within those varieties, there's a lot of room for people to play. So you talk about stouts. Well, so first off, most beers are about 90% the same. You just have a base grain they grind up, and it's just the last 10% of the grains they put in a beer that will make it something different, plus the hops and the yeast and all that. But a stout will have roasted grains in there. So if you just you think about taking grains and putting them in an oven and baking them until they're black, right? And then you grind them up and put them in there, and it turns the beer that really dark color, but then it also imparts caramel, chocolate, coffee notes because of the roasted grains in there. So it doesn't make it necessarily a heavier, stronger beer, but it does. You can still have the same alcohol content, but it'll be a different flavor profile. So if you like those chocolate, caramel, coffee notes, then you would get a darker beer.
Right.
They aren't necessarily, like I said, they're not necessarily higher in alcohol. Now, some are. If you get like an imperial stout or a Russian stout, those sometimes can be, especially those are big in the wintertime.
Careful, I'll have to watch you, Eric. To keep you away from
10% or whatever, and then you get bourbon barrel aged beers where they just brew it, dump it in a bourbon barrel for a few months. And then,
those are fun.
Yeah, if you like bourbon, then that gives a nice profile. But,
I've had that with wine, where it's like bourbon aged wine. They take a mixed, they call them mixed reds, I think, typically.
Okay, yeah.
Which really means something else also, but they take they put it in the mixed reds, I believe, category. But they'll take a red wine and then they let it age for a while in a bourbon barrel, so it draws out those,
nice,
because there's still bourbon stuck in
it's in the wooden
fiber in there, and then the alcohol
draws it out. So
the alcohol of the wine,
had that.
and it makes a potent drink, that's for sure. It's not mom's sipping wine.
But it's something different. So you have the base drink that you enjoy, and then there's a different flavor profile to it that made it interesting. And maybe you didn't even know when you first had it, you didn't know that you were going to like it, but here we were talking about it. So you gave it a shot, you enjoyed it.
Yeah, because I like bourbon, and I was like, all right, well, let me try this out.
Well, maybe later we can talk about bourbon more, too. I'm with you.
We should have Bourbon Fest.
There we go.
I'm going to be the president. Eric,
Bourbon Fest.
Do you like bourbon?
Yeah, I don't think I've really had. I had bourbon.
I know what we're doing later.
There you go. We got to get it. One of these days, I'm going to get them all banged up.
I did have a couple more questions. So, in addition to, we mentioned like 60-plus breweries and a lot going on, you guys also have a few competitions, right? Best dress competition.
Oh, yeah, the snackless.
The best
snackless.
Snackless. Yeah, the snackless is,
looks like a big hit.
String, whatever snacks you want around you. I've seen people just take a string and put a bunch of pretzels on it. I've seen people have bags of chips stuck all over their body that you can just like walk up and grab a bag of chips off. And so there's a kind of, you can only get away with that at a beer. It's like the Mickey Mouse ears, which you get it when you're at Disney. Yeah. You can only get away with that there. I don't think you could walk around the town with potato chips on your body. But at the Winterfest, it's encouraged to dress up, wear a costume, wear your snackless, and then there will be competitions, and hopefully you can win that.
I would like to see winners of previous years.
Where are they now?
Right. I kind of want to see what's the competition. If I wanted to dress up, what won last year? There should be a gallery somewhere. So
you can set the bar and you know what you have to beat.
That's my suggestion to the Kennett Collaborative. Put together a gallery of past...
Like a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Hall of Fame, right, for like the best snacklesses over the year.
I like it.
Somebody's got it, and the best costumes.
Maybe they get a hat. Returning champions wear a hat so you know who they are.
A sash.
Or like a green jacket. Or a sash.
Or a sash. Yeah.
I like a sash.
Yeah, because a sash you could go a lot of different ways with, and it's really cheap. Now, when you start talking about like a Masters, like the golf jacket, now you might have to, everybody gets a special.
It's a little different. I think the sash is probably easier. Yeah, one size fits all.
And then you put their year on there. And you go, oh, yeah, snackless champ. I mean, you go really nuts, and they make those big wrestling belts. You could be like,
like the big gold plate in the front of it.
Yeah, you could like wave it around, throw it over your shoulder, smack people in the head with it.
Steve might have to wear his sailor's hat.
I might. They'll know the captain is there.
I'm sorry.
The sailor's cap.
Yeah. I'm a big yacht rock fan.
Oh, I love yacht rock.
And so
my wife doesn't like it.
I discovered it a few years ago. I mean, I always liked that genre of music, mostly because of my age, but then it became like a thing. And it has grown much like craft beer has grown. Like yacht rock is a thing now. And there are these tribute bands and they have, these yacht rock themed names such as Yachtly Crew.
Oh, I like
big,
that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Boathouse Row.
Okay.
The Yacht Lobsters.
I like that one.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. There's one called Gilligan's Island that I keep finding them because once you start looking at one, then they pop up on social media. The next one.
Well, wasn't yacht rock basically at one point was the music that you loved, but you didn't want anyone to know that you loved it?
I mean, I think
when it was on, you would, if someone came in the room,
Yeah.
you would say, "Oh, how did this get on? This music's terrible." And
Yeah.
then when they left, you'd put it back.
Well, it was like 70s to 80s. And what's funny is when I tell people about it and they go, "Oh, what are you going to one of those concerts?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And everybody wears these captain's hats. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And some bands lean into it more, and it's like Yachtly Crew. They all look like they're captains, like
Nice.
Captain Stubing outfits, like the captain's outfits on a cruise line.
Yeah.
And they all match. And then other ones are more like they dress in the times. Like one of the biggest ones is Yacht Rock Review.
Okay.
I mean, they have their own documentary, I think, on HBO. They're big. And they have a huge following. Like, they sell out a Man Music Center.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And they're really good. Like, they are and they did not even start. They had their own original music. They were at a bar in Georgia, and they got asked to, like, hey, can you play? And, and they kind of were doing this shtick, and they became so popular. They had a residency, and it just has blown up into this huge fan base.
I love it.
Yeah, so it just became a shtick.
I got to go buy a hat.
You got to get a cat.
I'm going to go get a cat.
Yeah. Now there's a thing that's trending on social media I'm looking at. It's called, instead of Yacht Rock, it is called Yacht House. So if you like house music, they remix all these, quote unquote yacht rock genre songs, Michael McDonald's and the Daryl Halls and the Ambrosias and Steely Dan, and they remix it with house music.
Okay.
It is I've been listening to it a little bit. It's not for everybody, but it is a cool vibe because it now is this song. And again, when I introduce people to it, I'm like, yeah, come, it's fun. And they're just like, yeah, it looks like a good time. And then you go and then you're like, oh, these are I know all these songs. And I'm like, yes, you do.
And you're secretly enjoying it. Don't lie to me.
Secretly enjoying it. It's not for everybody, but it is. But.
And then, Doug, we really appreciate having you come in this morning. Just want to give one more reminder of the event on the 28th and throw out the promo code as well.
Yeah, so again, the February 28th, so that's next Saturday in Kennett Square. You can go online to kennettbrewfest.com to buy your tickets. The event starts at 12:30. It goes until 4 o'clock. And if you go and use the promo code WCHE, you can get $5 off of your ticket as a part of this promotion. So put on a coat, put on a hat and some gloves, come on out, enjoy 60-plus breweries with us, plus the musical acts. Again, Delco Donnie, Blank Pages, and the Tisburys all will be taking the stage, and you are guaranteed to have a wonderful time with a lot of beer available to you. You like some, you don't like some, that's the whole point. But then you get to spend a lot of time with friends, having a good time, and that's the whole point of it, is the fellowship and the camaraderie, and that's what the Kennett Square community is trying to create and what the Kennett Collaborative organization is trying to create, and across the different events that they have. So come enjoy that with us, and then keep your eye open also for the Kennett Summerfest, which will be on June 14th, which is a wine festival. Yeah. And then we have our annual Kennett Brewfest, which is going on over 20 years, on October 10th. So mark your calendar for when those tickets go on sale. Again, another great time.
We appreciate it. And rain or shine, right?
Rain or shine.
I see that there is a heated tent there.
There'll be tents covering things up. Mm-hmm. That's right. And believe me, it's fine. You'll be fine. Throw on a coat and a hat and some gloves and come. The weather's usually pretty good. And I know we've had some cold weather recently, but things are warming up now. And we're starting to see the grass again. I heard birds chirping this morning. And
I heard that yesterday. I got my dogs out for a walk where it wasn't like, all right, we got to put on 10 layers and cover up the dogs, and we can only be out for so long. And there were birds chirping, and it was kind of nice.
Spring's coming.
Spring is coming.
Spring is coming. It's going to be a great time. So, please go on and buy your tickets now. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there on Saturday, February 28th, next weekend.
Doug, I want to give a shout-out to some of the food vendors you're going to have. Claymont Steak Shop. I've never eaten there. Dia Dolce, right here, our own.
Right here.
Right, the cupcake coffee place. Hardy Funnel Cakes. Who doesn't like a funnel cake? Humpty's Dumplings. I love a dumpling. Natalie's Fine Foods, Tom's Pizza Cones. Have you ever had a pizza cone, Eric?
I have not. Nope.
You've never had a pizza cone?
Mm-mm.
It's very interesting. It's like what you think. The dough makes the cone, and then the cheese and the sauce and everything is inside the cone.
I'll have to check it out there.
Zach's Street Grill. I've never eaten there. Now, I have something that's of concern, Doug.
Okay.
I'm looking at, I'm on KennettBrewFest.com. I'm looking at the map. And there's like the entranceway, and there's a medical tent to your left, free parking at the Kennett High School. And then there's tickets, merch, there's a photo op, and then there's like, the vendors or the brewers, all 60 of them, et cetera, plus there's like a numbered table or tent going around.
Yep.
Right by tent 1 is Hidden River.
Yeah.
And then to the right of that on the map, it says Bomb. Is that an acronym for something?
I have me at a loss. I'd have to go look at that.
I stumped him. It says BOMB.
Oh, okay.
Bomb. It's got to stand for something.
Yeah, I don't have all my other brewers list and notes with me.
You can't say bomb at a Winterfest.
What if I was a bombardier?
Bombardier. I don't know. BOMB. You have to report back on
I'll have to go. Yeah, like I said, I don't have that in front of me. I have to go back and look. Maybe that is one of the brewers, or maybe an acronym. I don't know. And my committee members are listening, probably saying,
they're like,
Doug, no, you blew it. You blew it.
Don't you know that's the beautiful organic memorabilia bench? I don't know.
I just dropped the ball on that one. I just bombed myself. Yeah. Right.
I'll show up to find out. So.
Leave it to me to find
there we go. A cliffhanger. If you want to know what bomb is, go buy a ticket. Yeah. Use WCHE as your promo code, save $5, and come in, turn left, and help us all figure out what bomb is.
What the unsolved mystery. Well, Doug, we appreciate you coming on this morning. Looking forward to Winterfest on the 28th.
Thank you. It's great. Thank you for having me in. I appreciate the opportunity to come in and share about our beautiful community and these wonderful events. So it was wonderful talking to you guys. I enjoyed it deeply. So thank you.